Peasant Productions presents the massive ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Kind of have to have a little bit more fun here. There's like this Starship thing is a dream for me, a gamble for me, that is every bit similar in aspect as somebody who goes around praying to get into heaven. Okay? The big difference is I'm supposed to end up on this starship while I'm still alive so that I can fulfill the 1960 prophecy given to me that I will be around here in this solar system until all humans die. Based on what the spiritual realm tells me, based on what scientific evidence shows, based on the, shall we say, government misleading you and not telling you about what's going on around you. Yeah, you as a society are in extreme trouble right now. MIT computer simulation showed that an extreme drop in all of society's conveniences, I guess would be a good word for it, will basically plummet by 2020. We're about to start 2019. So you have 1 year before MIT's 1970s research showed that there would be an extremely drastic change to human environment across the planet. Fukushima, you have, all of this list of stuff which nobody's addressing. Like I said, every time I turn around, I'm getting, environmentalist groups telling me, oh, we have to get behind the carbon tax, we have to get behind the carbon tax. SO2 is not a carbon, folks. SO2 is a direct link to severe weather. I actually had somebody tell me, oh, you should go do some research before you post a satellite image of the immediately current SO2 emissions, which showed all of the Midwest to Eastern United States covered in the red of SO2. All of India, China, Micronesia, Indonesia, Europe, Russia, all of the places that are just getting hammered have this big cloud of red sulfuric dioxide. And like I said, in the 1960s, when I was first becoming aware, involved as a little kid of, environmental conditions and human effect to their planet, sulfur dioxide, acid rain, burning of coal and fuels with high levels of sulfur dioxide in it, which is diesel fuel more than anything else, which is, all your big trucks, most of your, different, countries and lower countries and stuff like that use a lot of diesel fuel, diesel engines for stuff. A lot of your backup for hospitals and power plants and stuff like that, they tend to be on diesel, okay? So yeah, you're burning all of this SO2 everywhere. And then, like I say, 1971, the United States currency was converted from, whatever it was, because it had already stepped off the gold standard in the 50s. It converted to the petrodollar, and it absolutely depends to this day on all business being done around the world in the sale of crude oil and a lot of, crude oil products in US dollars. It is a petrodollar. It must have direct, oversight on who is selling what and where. We give tons and tons and tons of military equipment to Saudi Arabia, who goes out and blows up places like Yemen so that they can put oil lines through and stuff like this, okay? So it's all very much tied together if you just simply open your eyes and look. Now, I have a meme, and I'm going to stick it into this video, that says, when you're trying to be successful, Don't ask permission, just do it. Think about it. The inventor does not ask permission to invent something, they just create an invention. Be it an absolute failure, a flop, a waste of time, or a major advancement and brand new thing and wonderful selling item and all of that kind of stuff. It depends on what happens once they take it out to the market. It doesn't make a difference when you're actually inventing it. You're not waiting for success. How many times have you seen somebody walk up and say, oh, you can't do that because you're not a big company. Only big companies invent stuff. Only big companies start other companies. Really? And can you show me a single company on this planet or in the history of humans that was not originally an idea of one person who then told buddies and friends, and that person, whether male or female, young or old, child or, ancient elder, started a business and made it into something. Apple computers. Yeah, Stephen Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Okay? Two people in a garage, and it's now the biggest company around. And it was two people who kind of batted an idea around, and I don't really know which one was the originator of it, but they both worked together to create something that was a laughing stock that became the biggest, literally, social status now. Yes, I was using an Apple computer in 1989, 1990, and I know how much people laughed at the idea of having an Apple because they were so expensive. And now everybody has to have an Apple Computers product because they're just the wow. Okay? Me personally, I won't buy their stuff. The same thing with Microsoft. Bill Gates and a couple of his friends saw this other guy's DOS operating system, disk operating system, and realized, wow, what a difference that could make. They went and negotiated to sell to IBM the use of Microsoft DOS. They got, I think, $100 and some $1,000 in the deal. They then turned around and they were working out of a motel room. They then went to that guy who had actually written the DOS program and bought his program off of him for $10,000. $90,000 in profit for selling something they did not even own at the time. Okay? So, again, you had one or two people, and Microsoft is one huge company. Okay? Bill Gates is considered one of the very top richest people in the world, okay? Up there in the, I guess, top 10 or something like that. Okay? So in every case, you have one person going out and making a big change. And in every case, you don't see them running around to the government, is it okay if I do this? Teacher, can I do this? I had teachers, two types of teachers, I guess. I simplify it and classify it. I had the teachers that loved the fact that I went and used my own brain and did something and experimented with stuff and showed whole brand new avenues. And then I had the teachers more often, 95% of my teachers, 97% of my teachers, who absolutely freaked out that I did not sit in class and learn what I was told to be learned and totally block out whatever else came around. I just had somebody on Twitter, before you use that oil of oregano, make sure you go talk to your doctors about it because that can be dangerous stuff. Oil of oregano is thousands of years old. You can make it with olive oil, canola oil, soy oil, corn oil, a blend of oils, whatever works for you, whether because you're financially strapped like I am right now and I'm just simply buying oils that are on sale and using it and making it. But it's got thousands of years behind it. And the person is touting, go talk to your doctor. Big pharma tests their drugs. nationally, historically, never more than 15 years. Fluoride was a rat poison, an insect poison for killing cockroaches and bugs in the house in the 1930s. It was yanked off the shelves, and in the 1940s, it started becoming something that people should do, fluoriding their teeth to protect their teeth. And in the 1950s and 1960s, everybody's got these big, long, 20, 50-year-long studies. Fluoride is so good for your teeth. It prevents cavities. Fluoride 3 times a day. Really? Something that was a poison 10 or 15 years ago is suddenly a 50-year study of being the most wonderfulest stuff for your teeth, and you should use it every day, and it should be put in every water system of every major city in America. Wow. Go look at a list of possible side effects of getting fluoride in your system. And it makes things kind of interesting. So, like I said, don't ask for permission. Go out and try it. Go out and do it. Then you'll see what happens, and if you have any gumption for yourself and any self-respect for yourself, you will realistically look at the actual facts. Not the social. Like I said, Apple computers is one of the worst. You can't really work on it yourself. You can't fix it yourself. You can't change a battery in an iPhone. It's next to impossible to upgrade an Apple into anything else. You have to buy most everything you want to use on it through an Apple store. It's called a monopoly, isn't it? But it is the social status symbol around the world. Okay, stop, look around, see what's going on, and before you jump on that bandwagon of doing everything that society does, stop and look at some history. Because Henry Ford, Chrysler, Ferrari, Maserati, they were all one person who decided to make a difference. Oprah Winfrey, I'm going to do something. A big black woman getting out there and making her own entire TV network. No matter how many people jumped on after she started running, she decided she was going to make a difference. And she did so. Gandhi, be the change you want to see. In other words, change yourself. Stop waiting for that other person to change. Stop saying that I'll change when that person changes. I have changed myself many times in my life. I have adjusted. I, as an extremely intelligent person, unlike Donald Trump, I have no problem with you fact-checking me. I have no problem with you discussing actual factual evidence with me. And most importantly, I have no problem with admitting, oh, I made a mistake, excuse me, let me change my commentary, let me change what I'm doing here, let me stop selling this product and start selling that product, or something like that, because this one has got the wrong stuff in it, the wrong things. Now, because you are doing what governments want, which is following a leader. Like I said, what is all social status right now? It's about how many followers you have. What is nationalism? It's when you follow something blindly because it's a flag waving in front of you and it's a leader up on a stand preaching about how great they are, when in fact you're not really having a good time. You are blaming those other people, those immigrants, man, they're taking away our jobs. Excuse me, but the entire North and South America, Australia, and a few other, large countries like that are places where Christians and Catholics invaded and took the land from the indigenous people and classified them as subhuman. Christianity, Catholicism, the Jewish faith, and the Islam faith, the Muslim faith, they're all based on the idea that you blame the other person before you ever look at yourself. You're too perfect to have to look at yourself. So stop and think about that the next time you want to do something about making a change in the world to make the world a better place. Not just for you, but everybody.